I gotta immediately click that record button because I start saying funny shit and then it ain't on film. And then people don't think I'm funny. I'm joking. I'm so funny. Okay. I was fucking watching. Let's get the stomach out. Pause. Everyone, let those tummies breathe. Let them breathe. Accept them as they are. Let's let her out. Let the girl out. Good evening. I'm recording. This is like the latest I think I've ever recorded. It's 11:40 at night. Let's crack open a poppy. I was looking at everyone's dating Wrapped. It's like your Spotify Wrapped, which is all the Spotify songs you listen to during the year, and the dating Wrapped is them saying like how many dates they went on, this and this, failed relationships, all these things. And I'm like, y'all go on fucking dates? Who goes like, I mean, I guess because I got out of a break. No, this is how I've always been. Like, I got out of a relationship in January, so I've spent this whole year healing. But regardless of that, I wouldn't be going on dates. The fact that people have the ovaries to put themselves out there on dating apps, man, that's beyond me. The fact that y'all have all the courage in the world to go up to someone and get their number or like put yourself out there, like kudos to you. Y'all are like part of some species that I'm not a part of, but the fact that people are going on dates is crazy. Even the people that hook up with people like just for sex and they're just meeting up with people on apps, like that scares the shit out of me. I don't understand how people do that. I don't even understand how some people like take people home from the bar. Like, I've never done that. That's just shocks me. Yeah, I don't know. And then someone said to me recently, who said it to me? It was a nice compliment. They go, oh, I can so see you being able to pick up people at the bar. I'm like, you see it, but it doesn't happen. You imagine it, but that's going to stay in your imagination forever because it doesn't happen. Anyways, why did I start this podcast? What did I want to talk about with you today? Oh, what I struggle with. Yeah, that's what I always talk about. So I'm a very positive person, and a lot of the times I think, wow, I love living in this brain. I feel like I've cultivated so much gratitude in the past year. Like genuinely, I feel so grateful, and I have these moments where I literally feel like, oh, like I just love my life. And I started doing this thing where I actually like say it out loud, because I think we immediately welcome negative comments like, oh, I hate my body or I hate myself. Like we always normalize the picking on ourselves rather than the praising ourselves. I have no idea why, but I've noticed it. So at times where I have thoughts like, wow, I love my brain, or I'm so creative, or I love my life, I just start saying it out loud, because I'm like, why are we don't think twice about hating on ourselves. But how often are we like, oh, I love my outfit today, I look so good, thank you, I really feel like I look really good when someone compliments you or something, anything. No, we're immediately ready to pick on ourselves. So as someone who lives in a very beautiful place up here, and I do have to take a lot of the credit for it because I did a lot of this myself, I worked so hard on my mindset. I think that's something I need to be very proud of, to how I got to where I am today. I just posted this on Instagram today, but this morning I was walking past the mirror and I was naked. And I don't know if it was because I haven't seen myself fully naked in a while, but I was going to take a shower and I'm like, holy shit, I look amazing. Like first of all, my back looked so big, and maybe it's because I hit back yesterday, but I was like, I look so fucking strong. Like, holy shit, my whole body, I felt like I was seeing it through somebody else's eyes. The way you see your friend's body and you think, oh, they're beautiful, or you just see them and you think they're beautiful, I was seeing myself from another person's view, and it was just this beautiful moment. I'm like, holy shit. And then I was like, you know what? Gave myself a little hug. I'm like, I used to look in the mirror and feel revolted and walk away from it, or roll my eyes, or get closer to it and pick apart every single thing about my body and convince myself that I would be better off if I looked different. And here I am, like admiring myself in the mirror. What a beautiful moment. Such a beautiful moment. I have really amazing moments, and as much as I've expressed that to you guys, I also feel things deeply in the other way, which is, all the sad feelings and all these things. And something that I always struggle with is grieving people and in particularly a past friend. I went through a pretty rough friendship breakup. Very rough. Yeah, I'm going to use this space to talk about it. Last time I tried to film a podcast about this, it was hard because I felt like I blacked out a lot. I think that's just what kind of happens in these scenarios. But I was in a friendship where it's one of those things that really makes you question, how did I even get there? Why did I stay so long? And I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this in even romantic situations, that feeling of like, why did I stay so long? And although, as I was saying, I have these amazing moments of life and I'm so happy I'm without this person, and I'm so happy I've cut out certain people and I don't talk to them and all these things, I do also experience those very low moments where, although it feels really good, you are experiencing the opposite feelings at the same time. So I can be so happy that they're not in my life, but yet so sad at the same time. And I feel them simultaneously. And I think that's an important indicator for anybody listening, that just because you miss somebody doesn't mean they should be in your life. Just because you love them so much does not mean they are serving you and they are helping you grow. You can be so blinded when you're in something, and it's so hard to take accountability for it. It's so hard to admit that it's blindness, because you don't feel like it's blindness when you're in it. I'll talk about the friendship breakup and other ways it relates to when you're in something, you really don't see what's going on until you're out of it. Let's start with this visualization. I want you guys to imagine you're in a movie theater. And I want you to imagine that you are literally like not even in the first row seat, like even closer. You have your face to the screen. Face to the screen. And you're just like almost like nose is touching the screen. And you're seeing something. You have no idea what it is. You just see colors or whatever it is, a movie's playing. And you really can't see anything. Imagine yourself like one step back. You can see it a little bit better. 2 steps back, still can't really see it. 3 steps back, I'm still like, what the fuck am I looking at? 4. Now you're 5 steps back. Now you're like 2 rows back. Now you're half of the theater back. Now you're like full theater back. And you can see everything. And that's how I think the blindness works, is you are so in it that you don't know what's going on. You can't see it fully until you're away from it. That's why I am one of those people that will preach no contact. Like, I will die on the hill of no contact. Like, when people say space, they don't usually mean space. Space means actual fucking space. I had found myself in scenarios, romantic and non-romantic, where I was so in it that I couldn't see what it was doing to me until I stepped away from it, until I actually took the space that I needed to see it. So I wrote 2 poems about this today. One of them I just posted on TikTok, and holy fuck, it's moving. We're going to read this poem first. I think you will always stay inside of me for the rest of time. I think you will always have a guaranteed part in the cast of my dreams. I think I will always miss you, but always be grateful you've left. I think I will continue to grieve us every day. My breath goes short, my words go silent, and my head will lie on my desk, heart heavy in my chest. I'll never understand why you treated me so badly and why I stayed. I'll never understand why I still love you so deeply and why I miss you every time I get the chance. It'll never make sense to me, and neither to anyone else. I think this will always surpass the pain of any romantic breakup, because no matter how hard anyone else can hurt me, nothing hurts quite like a best friend who left. So that's the first poem. And I think that is a good poem to start with before I get into the blinding one, because it's this feeling of loving someone so much, but being hurt by them so much. Or even when you step away, you can feel those simultaneously and you miss them, but you never want them back. But when you're in it, you're so scared of missing them, and you're scared of the way you feel, the way I feel right now explaining this to you. You never want to get to that point because it sounds unbearable. So you stay and you avoid that ever being the case. I always go back to being blinded by love in my last relationship and feeling so much like I had it figured out, and I didn't. And it was crushed to my ego because, as you know, like, I sit here and I talk about relationships. I talk about what it's like to be in a healthy, I talk about how we can be more healthy in relationships, how we communicate better, how can we do all these things. And yet I was in an unhealthy relationship and it felt like I was a fool. I don't know what the word is. Like, it felt like it was a facade, but it wasn't like I was lying to anybody except myself. I would tell my friends things. I never really kept anything from them, but I still felt like I was lying to people, even though I wasn't. I was just lying to myself. And I have a hard time listening to podcasts that I used to record when I was in a relationship. And I just stay away from them because I think I could cringe at the fact that I would talk about healthy love when I was in an unhealthy relationship. And coping with that is weird. And it's also weird being in a relationship that you can't even fully back up yourself, or that you're always defending to people, or that you feel like you have to really, really, really convince people of when you shouldn't have to. So this poem I wrote was about being blinded by the love, and when you're getting told things that are supposed to help you, but they're not really doing much help because, again, those oxytocin chemicals are blinding the fuck out of your eyes. I've always hated to hear "you'll know when you know" or "listen to your gut," because we all thought we knew when we knew, and we all thought our gut was saying stay when it wasn't. Whether we like to believe it or not, love blinds us, and we were all proven wrong at some point. It's not easy to admit we listened to the wrong signs and followed down the wrong paths, but we did, and we need it to be admitted. I'll start here by admitting it for you. So that's a scratchy draft, but I want to talk about this because I have been the person where I've said those words. Not only did I hate to hear them, but I have been the person to say those words. Listen to your gut. You know, your gut's going to tell you, or you'll know when you know. And I remember truly, truly believing when I was in my past relationship, like it was a you'll know when you know situation. I remember saying it to Adriana and being like, I just felt good, and I was explaining this feeling that literally was untrue, but I thought it was so true. I remember, like, this boggles my mind going through this again right now with you guys. It boggles my mind. I remember sitting in the car with her and explaining to her the type of love I was feeling in this relationship. I was explaining how it felt secure. It felt not like my heart was always going back and forth. It didn't feel like I was... You know what it is? Now that I think about it, it's because what I was feeling with men before my ex, I was comparing it to that feeling. And that feeling that I felt before I was with my ex was it was just a lot of feelings I didn't want to feel. It was like, you know, being pushed to the side. It was not being chosen. It was all these things. And I compared our relationship to my past experiences, and because our relationship felt better or different than those past experiences, I didn't think they were bad as they could be, because they weren't my past experiences. So being in it, I convinced myself, not even knowing, that like, oh, like this is, I'm in a good, like we're doing good, like this is good. And then you look back and you're like, oh, that was so not good for you. But you genuinely thought that was good for you just because it was not as bad or differently bad than the other shit you were going through. So I'm spewing a lot of good shit right now. I need to make sure I stay on track. So this blindness, like I go back to those moments, and in those moments of being in that relationship, I truly did believe this person was the one for me. And I don't even know why I thought that, because I go back and I'm like, girl, how did you think that? What was making you think that? But you do. You are so engulfed in it. You're engulfed in this fantasy of them, and you don't even know it's a fantasy until you leave. You don't even know it's the idea of them until you step back. But also, when I did go through the breakup, I didn't want to tell myself this was the idea of them or the fantasy of them, because I wanted myself to grieve what I believed was true at the time, and then allow myself to, if I wanted to come to that decision later on in my healing process, that, you probably were in love with the idea of them a little bit more than the actual person of them. Then I figured, okay, I'm going to believe that when I'm ready to believe that. And I do believe that looking back. But when I was fresh out of the breakup, I didn't want to hear, oh, you were in love with the idea of them. That wasn't useful for me, because it didn't feel like that. I was still very much, again, in my head, very in love with that person. And, you look back and you're like, girl, how were you in love with him? Because it doesn't seem like you're missing out much when you're not with the person. So, yeah. Yeah. Listening to your gut. What the fuck does it mean? Like, what does it really mean? As somebody who's very in touch with my energy, myself, my body through meditation, yoga, my aura, all these things, this energy that's inside me and outside of me. Why couldn't I see it? Why couldn't I listen to that gut? Why was the gut not telling me things? And I don't know if I have really the answer to that. I just don't think your gut sometimes even has room to speak. When the feelings of losing what you have is so loud, your gut doesn't really have any room to meet that volume of like, hey, hey, alarm going off. This isn't great. Like, nothing's happening right. Like, you're not getting anywhere. It just wasn't there. I don't remember feeling it. I don't remember ever feeling like, maybe I should leave. I just genuinely was like, yeah, just keep working through it. Like, we're going to get through this. And nothing ever was telling me leave. Nothing. It was only certain moments when I felt, this type of behavior feels unrepairable. And then in other moments when my therapist would ask me, if that didn't change, would you be able to live on with that forever? And I immediately went, no, I wouldn't be able to live with that forever. He needs to change that. Like, that needs to change. And then looking back, like, one of those moments where you realized you can't go on forever until your partner changes that thing. You start to realize, oh, I'm waiting right now. Waiting is never a good thing. I shouldn't have to wait. I don't need patience for disrespect. I don't need to have patience for someone pushing me away. I don't need to have patience for someone who's trying to sabotage this. I don't need to have patience for someone who's not loving me in the way I need to be loved. I don't need to have patience. I need to have self-respect. And I need to go into a stage of full awareness where I back myself up to the back of the movie theater realizing, oh, this is what's happening. With the best friend that I'm no longer friends with, that I read you the first poem about, it was one of those scenarios again where I never could imagine a life without this person. Looking far in my future, that person was there. Always, always, always there. So to be living a life that I never thought was even a thing years ago is crazy. And then when you look how far it's been since you've been with a person is even crazier. It's almost been a year since I've gotten out of my last relationship. I feel like I picked up this mic yesterday to talk about it with you guys. It's been almost a year. I think it's been almost 11 months. Yeah. How fucking crazy is that? It does not feel like it's been a year. Even just saying a year, what? It felt like sometimes it happened yesterday. And I'm not as emotional as it happened yesterday, but it's so vivid to me and still very much just like never forgotten type of feeling. And the fact that it happened almost 11 months ago, like, what the fuck? And the friendship breakup, I don't even know. Let me see. I think it's been we're reaching 3 years in a few months, I believe. 3 years, again, feels like I was hanging out with them. If I bring myself into a certain space, like I could feel like I was hanging around them the other day. And they pop up everywhere. They pop up in my fucking dreams. They pop up every time me and my friends are having an amazing, amazing time together. And I look at my friends and I admire them and I think, I feel so seen right now. I feel so heard. I feel so funny. I feel so amazing and grateful and wanted. I never felt like this with you. Barely, ever. Little spurts. And when the little spurts did happen, it was a high, and then it would go to the low lows. And I never feel that with my friends nowadays, ever. And then they show up in moments where I say something to a person, and then I immediately have this anxiety of their reaction, and I think, oh, why am I freaking the fuck out right now? Oh, it's them. They're still inside me. 3 years ago. It's been almost 3 years, and they're still inside me. The wound can hurt like it happened yesterday. But not to fear. They pass. Those feelings are very much fleeting feelings. Because if you guys are going through something right now and you're scared, like, oh my God, I'm still going to feel this in 3 years, in 2 years, it's very, very different type of feeling. Like, do not think that that's what I'm trying to say. The feeling is very, very different. There's so much packed into that wound, good stuff, moments, like so much packed into that wound. And the feelings are just very fleeting. And you've learned more lessons from them, and you've gathered the good stuff from it and the bad stuff, and you've like put it into like a little toolkit. Like, you are going to be okay if you're going through something right now and you're scared that down the line you're still going to be thinking of it. You think about it in a very different way. But what I'm trying to say is, it's just weird because it doesn't really go away, but it comes up in a different way. Yeah, I don't know how I stayed in that relationship, guys. Like still like coming to terms with that relationship was not my romantic one. Again, like the romantic one, yes, it was the first breakup, but it didn't hit my psyche as much as this shit did. Like, there's things that hurt a lot more. And I think that's because I wasn't fully in love with him. I was in love with a lot of other things, like the idea of what we could be together and blah, blah, blah. But this person, like, loved them my whole life, like literally till from when I started creating memories. And then all of a sudden they're not in your life anymore. And I look back and I'm like, holy shit. How did I do that? And how can I never do that again? And that's where compassion comes in. We need to be compassionate for ourselves. We need to forgive ourselves, and we need to hug ourselves and give ourselves the love that past version of us needed at the time. Being blinded by love is scary. I don't think you actually know when it's time to leave. I think, the question of like, when do you know it's time to leave? I can tell you right now, this is probably when it's time to leave. Like I've said the thing before, if there's something that needs to change in order for you to move on with them, then you'll probably be waiting forever and you need to leave now. But nobody will listen to that because you don't feel like that means leave. You don't. Until one day you get out of it and you look back and you're like, those were the moments that like all piled up to this me needing to leave. It's just little things chipping away, little by little, creating this huge hole or this huge wedge. And then the last one just goes and it just cracks. And then you're like, I can never go back to that. I could never bring myself back to that. Or maybe you already felt like you already had a huge crack, and because they're with you while you have this huge crack, that you think, okay, they're going to help me mend this together. They're going to help me mend this together. And you don't even see that they're the one helping that crack expand more and more every day. So if you feel like someone who's going through a ton of shit and you have somebody in your life that's making it worse, but you don't want to admit to yourself that it's making it worse because the feeling of being in a relationship and having that stability makes you feel better in some type of sick way. And I say sick because it's not actually making you feel better. It's very toxic, but you feel like you need to hold on to it. And then you, again, get out of it, and then you'll realize, oh, like, they were literally the ones that were making what hole in myself that I've been needing to fill with my own potion. They were putting some potion in it with a bunch of fucking shitty chemicals to make it even worse. Like, you'll think that they're healing you or healing that part of you that needs to be filled, but they're actually not. They're making it worse. They're making it so that hole never actually gets filled as long as they're in your life. Hopefully that's making sense to you guys. I think I get so scared of being alone forever that being chosen by someone felt really, really good. And even in the shitty times, when they choose you after they did something shitty, it feels like 1,000 billion times better. When I go back to like really good moments of me and my ex, it was like those times where they did something pretty shitty and then afterwards they give you that apology, or the night gets turned around. And then I was literally visualizing this the other day. I don't know why it was so vivid in my head. And it's just like this amazing feeling. It's like warms your heart. It's like this hopeful, warming feeling. And then you look back and you're like, bruh, why did that feel so good? But it's not good for me. And me and my therapist were talking about how I always felt that it's not that they were lying to me when they said they wanted to do better and they were trying to just feed me some bullshit. It's that they literally were lying to themselves. Like, they thought that was true. They, like, the things that they are preaching to you, they genuinely think are true. I think even going back to my friendship, there were things that that person probably thought they can fix because they wanted to be with me so bad. But at the end of the day, when it came down to it every single time, pulled away from actually trying to do the fixing and let the emotions, or I guess the moment, get the best of them. This is a very like deep podcast, I'm realizing. Very deep. It's hard. I have a lot of empathy for anybody in something right now that doesn't really know. I mean, if you're listening to this and you're in something right now, like the way I was, you probably don't even think you're relating to this that much because, again, you're too close to the movie screen. But you know, you could always come back to this episode one day and be like, hey, Allie, actually, I did relate to this and I thought I didn't when I listened to it, but I think I do. And don't be mad at yourself because, again, as I was writing my poems, I was thinking about me in that spot. And it's sad because you're just like a hopeful person that wants everything to work out and you want to be loved and you want the person that you love the most to treat you the right way, and they're not. Somebody else could be doing better for you, but unless you close the door, you're never going to find that out, and closing that door is really hard. I went through tons of visualizations. The door thing's a huge thing for me, but I would go through a ton of visualizations of thinking, where am I in relation to this door if they're on the other side of it? And, you know, some days it would be me peeking in, some days it would be me with my back against it, some days I'd have a dresser against the door, and visualizing where I am in that door. I actually drew something for my room, and it was just very like dark and gloomy, this door where it looks so awful to be on this other side of the door, and you have no idea because, as the picture I drew says, beginnings are always disguised as endings. I love that because you're looking at it. It looks like an ending. It looks like this awful, tragic thing. And it's actually the beginning of something beautiful, the beginning of you choosing yourself, the beginning of you closing a chapter to open a new one, and a beautiful, beautiful life ahead of you. That even if you guys are in something now that's holding you back, maybe you don't even know it, but one day you will. And I'm going to be so happy when you guys do, because I've come out of two big things, maybe like three. I mean, I would say like, yeah, three, where I've blossomed so much more. Like, I didn't know at the time when I was like the little flower, they were, I'm going to quote one of my poems, that they were spraying weed, like love killer on my leaves. Like, they were spreading this, what is it? Like the pesticides, like every day they're coming around. OMG, better, even, oh my God, they're going around, this is the person that's hurting you, they're going around with this pesticide killer, and it looks like water. Oh my God, it looks like water. And you're like, oh, you're giving me life, you're giving me hydration, I'm gonna grow. Oh, like every day it's like you're a plant and you've got amnesia, and every time this person comes by you with this water, you're like, oh my God, yes, it's gonna be the best thing ever. And then it hurts you, but then you like die a little bit inside, and then you wake up the next day, you forget about it, and then water keeps coming again, but it's actually fucking poison. It's love killer. And they're spraying it on your leaves. And then eventually one day you actually are able to blossom through, because somehow you figured out that shit ain't fucking water. It's poison. And here you are, blossoming into something you literally never thought was possible. You guys are all going to get there. We're all going to get there together. And I'm so happy that we are all here to talk about it and breathe about it, because we're going to breathe now. That's what we're going to do. Okay? Here we go. Let's get a hold of our tummies and let's breathe in our bellies. And I want you to channel the acceptance you have for your past self that has been through really tough times, that has gotten through every single one of those tough times, even if you're still struggling with it. Find compassion for yourself, for reasons why you stayed. And let's just accept who we were and who we are becoming. And if you feel like you are in something right now and it feels very, very hard to get out of, have compassion for yourself. Be patient with yourself. You're doing your best. Everyone's just trying their best. So let's breathe in with that acceptance. Hold at the top. Let's exhale through our mouth. Let's inhale for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to exhale for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And one more inhale. And exhale, let out a sigh and let the shoulders down. Release anything, let it go. I'm proud of you guys for coming today. And a little bit of an emotional episode. Maybe it's because it's so late at night and I should go to bed. But I had a snow day today because I'm in Virginia and it's the first day it snowed. So they're like, oh my God, we're going to get so much fucking snow. There's like barely any snow out there. But hey, if it means I get a snow day, then I'm happy. So that's it. That's it for the episode. And I will see you guys next Wednesday. Go shop Muscle Mommy on musclemommystore.com. If y'all are fashion designers and can design tech packs, please reach out to me. I'm struggling. I'm trying to make activewear right now. Please reach out to me. Or if you know anybody in fashion school, fucking send them my way, please. I'm not even like, please. Please. Okay. Bye, everyone. Bye, Muscle. Oh, did I say Muscle? Oh, wait. Guys, did I say hi, Muscle Mommies and Daddies? I hope I did. Anyways, hi and bye, Muscle Mommies and Muscle Daddies.